Hi Year 7, welcome back to Mathematics. We're starting off today with a couple of brain teasers to warm you up for today's lesson. First one is, where would L be larger than XL? And second question, a bat and a ball cost $1.10 in total. The bat was $1 more expensive than the ball, so how much did the bat cost? If you think you know the answer to either of these, let me hear about it down in the comments or send me an email. Okay, to start off, we're going to do a couple of flashback questions from our last lesson where we looked at the area of parallelograms and triangles. So if you can remember, please pause the video and try and have a go at finding the area of these two shapes. Okay, for the first one, as we looked at, the area of a parallelogram is the same process as the area of a rectangle. We're just multiplying our base and our height together. As long as these two numbers are making a 90-degree angle, you've got a base and a height, we can multiply them. So we do 12 times 9 and we get 108. Now for area, we have square units, so we write centimeters squared, which actually stands for square centimeters. And over on the right, we've got our triangle. As we saw, the area of a triangle is we multiply the base and the height, and then we cut our answer in half. So we're going to be doing 6 times 7, and then we're going to halve our answer. So 6 times 7 is 42. If we cut that in half, we get 21. Or another way you could have done that is you could have halved the 6 to make it a 3, and then 3 times 7 is also 21. So either way, we get 21 square millimeters as our area. Okay, for today's lesson, and it is the last lesson in this topic, we're looking at the volume of prisms. All right, so to start off, let's talk about what volume actually means. So far in this topic, we've looked at lengths. So for example, this length here could be 1 centimeter. Now, if you take 4 of these 1 centimeter lengths and you make a square, we call this a square centimeter, and this is called an area. So we've done a few lessons on both of these so far. Today we are going to take this square, we're actually going to take 6 of them, and we're going to make a cube. So we've gone from 1 dimension to 2 dimension, and now we're going to 3 dimensional. This is called a cubic centimeter. Okay, so all these lengths are 1 centimeter, all these faces are 1 square centimeter, and this cube is called a cubic centimeter, and the space inside of this cube is referred to as a volume. So length is how far, area is 2D space, and volume is 3D space. Okay, so if we're being asked to find the volume of a solid, like this rectangular prism, for example, we're really being asked how many cubic centimeters are there in this block. Okay, so how many of these are in this? Now we could obviously just go through and count, 1, 2, 3, etc. But counting is going to take a long time. Let's try and find a shortcut to figuring out how many cubes are in this block. Well, if you look at this front face, we have a row of 3, and then we've got 4 rows. So this front slice is going to have 3, 6, 9, 12 cubes. Okay, and then this front slice, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those. So if we take our 12 cubes and we multiply it by 5, we get the volume of the object. So that's the process we're going to be applying today. To find the volume of a prism, we're going to find the area of one of the slices, and we're going to multiply by how many slices we have, and then we get the volume. So I kind of think of this as like a loaf of bread. We're trying to find how much bread is in the loaf. So what we're going to do is we're going to find how much bread is in one slice, and then multiply by how many slices we have, and then you've got your whole loaf. Voila, maths is beautiful. Okay, so in your notes, can you draw up for me a quick rectangular prism? We're going to color in the front face, and we're going to call this the area. So this is the area of the face that we're going to multiply by how long the shape is. We're going to call it a height, which is kind of confusing because it's not really how tall the shape is, it's how long the shape is. But this is the formula that we work with. We find the area of a face and we multiply by how long the shape is. So our process is area times height. So we already know how to find area. Today we're taking that answer and we're multiplying it again to get our volume. So jot that down for me and we'll do a couple of examples. Okay, here are our first two. We've got another couple of rectangular prisms. We're going to find the area. So in the first one, the question has already done half the work for us because they've highlighted one of the faces and they've told us that the area of this rectangle is 30 square centimeters. So like we said, now we have the area of the slice. We just need to multiply by how long the shape is. So we need to multiply 30 by 9. It's going to turn our area into a volume. So our volume is going to be 30 multiplied by 9. So we know 3 9s are 27. So 30 9s are going to be 270. And because this is a volume, our units are going to be cubic centimeters. So we write centimeters to the power of 3. Okay, the green one on the right, we have to do that first step ourselves. We have to find one of the faces and we need to find the area. So I'm going to shade in this front face here. We're going to find the area of this rectangle and we're going to multiply by how long the shape is. So this rectangle has a base of 5 and a height of 3. So the area is going to be 3 times 5, which gets us 15 square centimeters. Now that we've got our area, we'll multiply by the length of the shape, which is 6, and that's going to turn it into a volume for us. So our volume is 15 times 6. So we're going to be doing 6 lots of 15. That's going to get us an answer of 90 cubic centimeters. Okay, so there we have it. You just find an area and you multiply by how long the prism is, and then you've got your volume. Easy peasy. Let's try a couple of slightly tougher ones. We've got another rectangular prism and we've got a triangular prism. If you feel like you're getting this, you're welcome to pause the video and try these by yourself, or if you just want to watch along, that's all good as well. Okay, for our rectangular prism, we already have a face highlighted. We have this front rectangle. So once again, we're going to find the area of this front face. Once we get that, we'll multiply it by 12 and we'll have the volume of the entire solid. So to find the area at the front, we need to be doing 7 multiplied by 30, base times height. So we know 7 times 3 is 21, so 7 times 30 must be 210. It's an area, so we're going to have square centimeters. So 210 is the area of the blue face at the front. Now we need to be doing 210, the area, multiplied by the 12. So our volume is our base area multiplied by the height or the length. 210 times 12 is something that I'll be reaching for a calculator, and we get an answer of 2520 cubic centimeters. So 2,520 centimeters cubed. Okay, sweet. Over on the right with our triangular prism, our process is the exact same, except our area formula is going to be a bit different. So once again, the area that we need to find is the shape that's the same the whole way through, which is a triangle. Okay, anywhere you cut this prism, you're going to see a triangle. That's why we call it a triangular prism. So the area that we need to find is not one of these rectangles. We need to find the area of this triangle. So this triangle has a base of 6 and a height of 4. So hopefully you remember that for a triangle, we do the base multiplied by the height, and then we halve our answer. So 4 times 6 is 24. If we cut that in half, we get an answer of 12. And there is the area of the triangular face, 12 square centimeters. Now we take that area, we multiply it by the length of the prism, which is the 5. So to find our volume, all we need to do is 12 times 5. So we get a final answer of 60 cubic centimeters. All right, so it's the exact same process, finding an area, but just remember that for an area of a triangle, you've got to do half. Okay, if you found those easy, you might want to have a go at this optional challenge question. So given that 1 cubic centimeter can hold 1 milliliter of water. That is the beauty of the metric system. Everything matches up perfectly. 1 little cubic centimeter holds exactly 1 milliliter of water. So the question is, how many liters of water could this triangular prism hold? So for this question, you want to be able to find your volume to then turn your volume into what's called a capacity, which is liquid units rather than cubic units. If you're feeling brave, you can pause and have a go, or if you just want to watch me do it, that's all good. Okay, here we go. So we're going to start off with finding the area of the blue triangular face. So once again, we need to do the base multiplied by the height, and then we need to cut it in half. So 16 times 15 is a pretty big number. We get 240, and then we cut it in half, and we get 120. Okay, so the area of the front triangle, 16 multiplied by 15, cut in half, is 120 square centimeters. Now, once again, we take our area on the front and we multiply it by the length of the shape, which is 24 centimeters. So our volume is going to be 120 multiplied by 24. Going to be a big number. It's going to be 2880 cubic centimeters. Now, the question was, how many liters of water can this prism hold? And the question told us that every cubic centimeter is going to hold 1 milliliter of water. So if our volume is 2,880 cubic centimeters, that means our capacity is 2,880 milliliters. Okay, you might already know that every 1,000 milliliters you have makes up 1 liter. So 2,880 milliliters is going to be 2.88 liters. So well done if you found the volume by yourself, well done if you turned your volume into a capacity, and then well done if you wrote your answer in liters as the question asked. But it's a pretty tough question. We usually see these types of questions later in year 8 rather than year 7. Okay, that'll do it for today's lesson. There'll be some more practice questions for you guys to go on with. Please let me know if I can give you any more help. Otherwise, I'll catch you in the next lesson. Bye for now.